I will say this, we're all looking for results. Everyone's looking to kind of have an outcome that is not only helpful, but it's recognized and of course applauded. And if you are one of those people, do not feel like you are alone, do not feel ashamed, because we all want to see results. It's more importantly to understand, how do we get to that point of starting, finishing, and then seeing results? Well, if that's you and you're inquiring, you are at the right place. Welcome to the Basics of Bossing Up, where we discuss basic principles in order to create the lives that we want and ultimately that we deserve. I'm Allie Love. So we're focusing on discipline. Discipline is how we get results. A lot of us kind of start something, whether it's building a business or, 2020 New Year's resolution or an objective. We start something and then we realize that we do not have, not only do we not have a routine in place, but we have no structure to which our strategy can live to equal the success. So those are two ways of saying structure, strategy, success, discipline, routine, outcome, results. So with that, in our previous last two Basics of Bossing Up, we discussed routine. So you can go back to refer to some concepts and ideas and tricks and tips and how to basically put yourself on a routine, what the outcome of a routine can produce. Now, once you have your routine in place, it is very important, especially as someone who is a business owner, I can tell you right now, to find discipline. What is discipline? It is basically you staying true to the course, to your course of action, to your routine. It is for you not giving up the things that are going to equal success. So we all know, as a kid, we all had homework, and we come home and we do our homework. And in order to get good grades in school, you had to be disciplined enough to come home and do your homework. The routine was doing your homework every night or whenever you received it from the teacher. And now, in order to be disciplined to your routine, to make sure you were a great student in terms of studying, doing your homework, you had to put all of those things ahead of sometimes what we don't want to do. And this is when we're not disciplined. So our kids, come home from school and something is going wrong. Okay, great. You want to tend to them. You want to change your whole schedule, your whole life to make sure the people you love aren't hurt. One of the things I do want to highlight, given obviously that this is not a really, really bad situation, you do what you have to do. But let's preempt it. Let's say, your kid got into a fight with your neighbor at school, nothing too serious, and they're feeling sad about it. After you give your kid the pep talk and you've made room in your entire day, you've broken up your routine, your schedule to make sure you take care of the people or the person that you love, keep in mind that it's important that you ultimately navigate to get back into your routine. That's discipline. Discipline is not being very difficult to be with. It's not being someone who is so rigid that they're uncomfortable or so rigid that they're not nice. Having discipline means that you are flexible and fluid enough to stick to a course of action to get what you said you were going to get done in a very timely manner. So the reason discipline is so important and I'm so passionate about it is because I think about it when I was a ballet dancer. Coming to New York, I did ballet, and I was in a podcast interview and someone said, "How are you so disciplined?" And I'd never thought of myself as a disciplined person. And I questioned, I said, well, am I a disciplined person? And they were like, yes, you have your routines. You're able to articulate your routines, the steps on how to get somewhere and why you're going there. And the fact that you're able to not only articulate the how and the why, but you're able to commit to it, and commit to it so much so that there is a positive result on the other side. And that's discipline. And I said, you know what? That's actually right. And the only thing that I can think about that really gave me discipline was being a ballet dancer. You stood in the room for 45 minutes to an hour doing ballet. You weren't allowed to talk. You were able to ask questions. But it was a moment to literally focus on your craft, to focus on getting the things done. And you start at the bar, just like every routine has a beginning, middle, and end. You start at the bar, you do your warm up. From the bar, you come to the floor, then you go across the floor. And in these same structured steps, one of the things that never left was the essence of what happened in that room. You stayed focused, you stayed keen, and you were quiet. You absorbed and you performed. And I think that that's exactly kind of how I apply it to life. If you are building a business and you're working on a product, then if you have a routine, granted, we want to be flexible and fluid, that if something comes up that's serious enough for us to deviate from our routine, that we are also disciplined enough to get back on the course of action. Maybe we don't pick it up that day, but maybe we pick it up the next day. Maybe we double up. And now this is not to invite procrastination. while I do want to be adamant and more forgiving that we have grace for ourselves or forgiveness for ourselves, that yes, not everything is going to go exactly how you want it to go every single day, every week, according to your agenda. So I do want you to be mindful in terms of being flexible and fluid. However, that is not to allow you to procrastinate. Discipline, it has no room for procrastination. You want to make sure you're creating space for yourself to be successful and you're staying the course. And if you have to get off course for something that's really important, then you do that, but always with the mindset of like, this is what needs to get done at this time. Even if you can put it off till tomorrow, put it off till the next day or the weekend, that's not what discipline is. So your call to action after this Basics of Bossing Up video is, what is that one thing this week you cannot put off? You have to get done. Be disciplined about your bills. Be disciplined around your invoices to your employees. Be disciplined around when you spend time with your partner, when you spend time with your kids. Be disciplined around your self-care. So discipline shows up not only in your professional life, but also in your personal life. And once you can have a handle on how you're disciplined in both without being rigid and overwhelming and just someone who can be flexible and fluid but stay true, then that finds and strikes a nice balance. All right, that is my time. Tell me how you handle discipline.